Hey everyone, it's me, Lizzie, and this is Lizzie Reads, and welcome to my very belated March wrap-up. Now, I haven't got barely any of the books with me because I listened to so many audiobooks last month because of deadlines. I was just listening like while walking or while working, and then a few of the others I left behind at uni, and I'm at home for Easter and go back this weekend. So I'm just going to run through them quickly, give like a really brief synopsis, and I'm not going to try and drag on too much because it's getting quite late into the month now, and I just want to get this out there. And I uploaded just more of like a brief overview, and I did a few like vlogs. I started a vlog like last month, and then I did one like this month as well. So like I've spoken about a few books in like longer detail there. Right, the first book I listened to in March was Binti by Nadia Korafor. I think that's how you pronounce her name, and I gave that 3 stars. It was just a quick little ditty. It was about Binti. She's going to university. I can't remember the name of the university where she's going, but she's the first person of her. She's the first person of her people to go to this university, so it's very exciting for her. But on the journey in space, it's a sci-fi. Did I say that? Oh my god, I'm starting off on a really bad foot. Something bad happens and it goes completely waylaid. I really can't say much about it because it's so short that if I say anything, it'll all be spoilers, I guess. I liked it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was interesting. But it was so quick. Like, I could have had like a longer, more detailed. Things were moving on really fast. Like, information was coming out really fast. I was getting a bit confused because of the information. And I realised, I was listening while tidying my room. I realised that like for like half an hour, like I hadn't taken in any of what had been said. And I was so confused. So I had to go back like and see what happened then. So that's why I gave it sort of 3 stars. I might continue on if it comes out in audiobook if I see it at the library, but I'm not going to like spend like actual like money on it, whereas with audiobook it's a bit different, isn't it? Second, I read Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill, and I gave that 5 out of 5 stars. It's a dystopian novel in which women can't be birthed anymore. Only men are given birth to, so women are created by science in a sense, and they are brought up in these boarding schools with really strict and disgusting rules. It really shines a light on sexism in our society, and I've done a review on it where I've gone more into detail. It's spoiler free, so I'll link that down below if you wanted to watch that. It's the first review I've ever done, so I'm sorry if it's not very good. I might try and do a few more reviews. I'm not sure if there's any books I've read recently that I want to do a review on, but like, oh no, it's not my first review. I did a review on Polar Bear Explorers Club, but that was more like a gush. So yeah, they're both books that I really enjoyed, so I'll link those videos down below if you're interested. 3, I read British by Afua Hirsch. I think it's Afua. I think that's how, there's a bit in chapter 2 where she, because I listened to this on audiobook as well, where she pronounces it. She tells you how to pronounce it. Yeah, so Afua is such a beautiful name. And I read this because of Mel's Bookland Adventures. She's doing Harder Conversations, the British, like, she's doing that British version. And I'll link her video on it down below. And I watched her video on this and I was like, I need to listen to it on audiobook. I really need to like engage with this text because it sounded amazing to me. Talking about Afua is a this is non-fiction by the way, sorry, I'm terrible. Is a mixed race British girl, and it's about her heritage and how she found her life and growing up, and it's just about so many different things. And although like I feel like I'm quite like on the right track, there were a few things I thought, oh yeah, I need to change that, like why is that ingrained in my head, that sort of thinking. And Mel puts it so brilliantly in her video. I thought it was amazing, because sometimes you feel embarrassed when you think something and you realise it's wrong and you feel embarrassed and ashamed, but actually like this is the way you've been brought up, and you're making the effort to change your perception is sort of like better than just like sort of letting it go over your head sort of thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed reading that. I gave that also 5 stars. Then I read the only book I have with me, and that is Matilda by Roald Dahl. I read this for a uni class, and I did a few little notes in it. I loved it the same as always. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because of the nostalgia and how much I enjoy the stories. But like, I am becoming a little bit like, now when I read Roald Dahl, I'm like, oh shit, fat shaming, etc, etc, things like that. It's really, I don't know, it's a bit, ooh, makes me feel a bit, similar thing with Harry Potter, like the occasional like fat shaming is not like, I don't know, it's not, I don't feel too comfortable with it. Then 5th, I read The Enormous Crocodile by Roald Dahl. I listened to it on audiobook, actually. I downloaded it from Overdrive, and it was like 20 minutes long maybe, and I listened to it in bed as I was trying to fall asleep, and it was narrated by Stephen Fry, I think, and it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. First time I'd ever listened to it, read it, anything, and I really liked it. It was a really like sweet, like funny little story, like it's very in the Roald Dahl style. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and I gave that 5 out of 5 stars because for what it was, I enjoyed it. And then 6th, I read Autumn by Ali Smith, and I have said on this channel many times, I've been trying and trying and trying with Ali Smith, and it's not really been working for me, but Autumn by Ali Smith I quite liked. I quite enjoyed it. I felt like I was running with the themes, like I felt like it's quite easy to sort of stay on track with. It's very much about Brexit, it's very like current, well I suppose it was current when it was, but it still feels very current to me because I feel like it's following the similar narrative of what's going on in Britain right now. It's, oh, it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were funny, interesting, quirky. I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars because it wasn't the best book I've ever read. It wasn't amazing. I didn't like really like feel like really passionate about it, but I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to picking up winter. Then at number 7, I read The Explorer by Catherine Rundell, and I think I got a vlog in which I read this, and finished it, so I'll link that down below. But I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was interesting. I was engaged with the text. I liked the like middle grade characters. The setting was amazing, about these kids that get lost in the Amazonian rainforest, and the setting was amazing, so vivid. The way things wrapped up, it wasn't exactly the way I would have envisioned it, but obviously that's all personal preference, and I was never sure how to place the characters because it was very ambiguous. But in terms of like characters and character like friendships developing, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Then I read the 8th this month, Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. I think that's how you say her name. Sorry again for my terrible pronunciation. And it's about a Nigerian woman who, her and her husband have agreed to remain, or stay monogamous to each other in a culture in which he might take a second wife, or possibly a 3rd or 4th wife, and they are struggling to conceive, so his family tell him that he needs to take a second wife, and it's kind of about their lives and how it changes from that sort of point. Oh, it was incredibly interesting. I was completely blown away. I was zapped up into the characters. Like, I thought it was so interesting. I wanted to know how their lives turned out. I listened to this on audio, which I think helped because I knew how to pronounce the names, which is really helpful to me. Sorry. But I just loved it. I thought it was really good. I buddy read it with a uni friend, and we were like having really good discussions. There was a few things, like I gave it 5 stars, I think. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars because I thought it was amazing. There's like 2 things that I really thought. I thought the political stuff was kind of glazed over. It's like mentioned and then glazed over. And then there were a few moments where I thought, really? Like, I know, there was one moment where I thought, I know I could understand why, but I just thought, I can't really explain it without spoiling, obviously. But there was one moment where the main character, like, did something, and I thought, really? Would she have done that? is that realistic? I mean, the characters were so fleshed out that I was like, is this just the character's so fleshed out she's making a decision that I wouldn't expect her to, or is it just that it's slightly unrealistic? I wasn't sure, but I gave it 5 stars anyway because I thought it was incredible. I've been wanting to read it for ages, since everyone started talking about it, and it was very, very, very much worth the wait. I thought it was incredible. Then the last 2 books I read last month were The Dry by Jane Harper and Force of Nature by Jane Harper, and they are books 1 and 2 in the Aaron Falk series. I listened to both of these on audio. They are, I can't remember who they're narrated by, but they are set in Australia, which I found very soothing to have a lovely, because I've listened to lots of different accents this month on audio. I've listened to very many, and I thought it was very enjoyable actually, because I found it very soothing, and it's they're like crime, mystery, thriller type novels, I guess, more like thriller crime rather than mystery. They're definitely not cozy, but they were so enjoyable. The first one, at first I rated it 4 stars I think, and then the second one I wanted to rate 5 stars because I was obsessed with the characters, but I think that really stemmed with the first one, so I think I'm going to give the first one like a 5 stars. Like, I thought it was amazing, incredible, so interesting. The first one, yeah, Aaron Falk is such an interesting character. I was just blown away. Like, I was just blown away by how interesting he was, and like how not boring, and like, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. And the first one, he goes back to his hometown because his best friend from his childhood has died, and his family have died in like mysterious circumstances, or so they think, mysterious circumstances, and it's like linked to a murder that happened when he used to live there, and it's just like this back and forwards in time. Like, I loved it. It was so good. It was so engaging. It was so fast paced. Right, I'm getting really passionate about these books that I love, and because I read them like weeks and weeks ago, I can't think of any really specifics. But that is all I read. I say all, I read 11 books. I'm very pleased with that. But that is all I read that I have to talk about. Yeah, so please, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, you know, all the bits. I love to chat with you in comments. If you've read any of these, if you're interested in any of these, if you've got any recommendations, just anything. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.